Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I break down my lighting setup for an out-of-service ambulance, utilizing a couple of tube and matte lights for B-roll capture. I also use the Link app to adjust my levels on the fly. Stick around to the end to see the final results. This is where we'll be setting up for our B-roll. We will be doing training exercises inside of this ambulance. Up top, you can see there's lights, but none of the lights actually work because we will not be firing up this ambulance in this garage. So I will have to put in my own lights. I'm thinking of attaching some things to that railing and then introducing lights into the space. Also, the overhead lights will be turned off so we can kind of have a moodier look, and we'll go from there. So let's get that set up. So I decided on putting some tubes up here to get some down lighting, and then we'll probably introduce maybe some MCs or F22s in play as well, but I need to get power to these, so I'm figuring out placement on these guys so I have the ability to do what I need to do. So I'm taking care of that right now. I'm going to use some zip ties to actually hang these. So I'll get a zip tie, get it looped over and started, and then I'll run the tube through. What I want to be sure of when I'm doing this is how I'm going to power it and where the power is going to go. So I want the power to go this direction. So I want to make sure that whatever I do, I give myself the ability to kind of tuck the power out of the way and keep the run short as possible. So this guy is ready now to slide in here. Great. So it'll go in this way, kind of get this on standby. I mean, I could even uplight it if I really wanted to, the way that it's sitting. I do actually still have my little Velcro that I usually use on everything, so this can actually play in here and allow me to have this out of the way without a zip tie, and then I just plug up and that should clear. And then I have to get another run, or I will get another run, another 4-footer to put here the rest of the way. Then I'll have a decent run. One thing I got to pay attention to is make sure that I can actually have access to this, and I'll use the Link app. Once I'm connected to everything, I should be able to control everything on my own through the app, and I'll do it on my phone because I'll have the iPad possibly as a director's monitor for the client. All right, we got everything connected up and it's connected to the app. There we go. Now these are facing upright. We're gonna face them down to, right now it's uplit, bounce light. We're gonna go directional. We're gonna go straight down with it and see what we get with those. I don't know, still trying to decide which route I'm gonna go, but I'm connected to the Link app, so I should be able to control them accordingly and play around with it. So I just connected the lights. I have an F22C up front. This part of the cab is actually like a pass-through window that goes from the cab to the back. If we were to see out through it, you just see the inside of the cab and out the front window showing the garage. So I put a light there and it backlights really nicely so you can get some good moody shots. What we also have is lights from above. And these lights from above mimic what naturally happens here. So if I remove the cab light, you can see it's really flat and dull. And what's cool is I can individually control these, give me the ability to increase intensity on one and not the other, giving it a different look. Also, I can match them or totally remove them as well. So that's a really cool function. And then we have flashing light right here. So if I remove some of the lights, give it a certain moody look. Now check this out. It looks really nice. So if we want to go very clinical, we have the overheads, but also I have the ability to still give some moodiness if needed, but also bring up the light. So if my shadow side here is a little too dark, what I can do is I could bring it up, and here it's way too bright. I keep moving it down, and then I can make those adjustments where, you know what, I just need a little bit more here, but also still have that moodiness that I want. So I have a lot of control in this space. The lights are out of the way. I'm going to walk you through how everything looks in this space and how I did it, but it ends up working out. Everything is actually powered through AC power, so it's through a wall plug. So none of them are running on batteries. Now I could run them on batteries, but we have a long day of shooting and I didn't want to get stuck in a situation where I run out of power. So 8 hours of B-roll in this space. I'm set up for the whole day and it's ready to go. So let's take a look at what I did here. So this is walking in to the back of the ambulance, and you can see how we can have a good backlit situation, but also still bring up the ambient as needed. So let's go up top and look at these tubes and how they're installed. So what I ended up doing is adding zip ties. These tubes are so lightweight, I was able to zip tie to minimize the amount of light that was getting cut out. And then you can see over here, we have them butting up to each other, and the power's connected right there, running all the way back into this dark spot right here. The wires just come in and then they're tucked away here, and I could do a better job there. I'll probably fix that. And they pop out and go out the door. And then here we have an F-22C that's just sitting inside the cab. So let's take a look at how that looks from another angle. And there it is, just shining through the cab. And our wiring is just tucked up here, out of the way, out of the shot, so I could get angles here as well. So right now you can see it has a little bit of top light to it. I could remove that pretty easily by just disconnecting it with the Sidus Link app. So I'm just going to open up the app, go over here, and there we go. Now we have the light coming from one direction, and if I want to add flashing lights, with the flashing lights coming in, and then we could take the F-22 down a little and give a really cool effect overall. And that F-22 I'll be able to bring back to the back of the ambulance and have it shoot through the back windows if I want it to be lit from the other side as well. Now let's take a look at the results. On the exterior shots, I did add a 2-foot tube to give me a little bit of something from the outside. Aside from that, everything is the F-22Cs and the tubes overhead, which are the 4-foot tubes. Working in this space was a little bit difficult because I didn't get to set up each shot or each scene. It wasn't pre-planned. So you'll see sometimes that the highlights are a little blown out from the lights above or from the F-22. I didn't have the opportunity to really sculpt the light or overdo adjustments because we had the subjects for just a short period of time. We got maybe a total of 1 hour with them, and we kind of had to move through the paces pretty quickly. I adjusted on my phone as much as I could, but I could always go in and make adjustments after the fact. I was shooting in S-Log3, so I could bring down the highlights if needed, and then also mask things accordingly if I really wanted to. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like when you're just running and gunning and capturing B-roll on your own and you don't have the help of someone else. Pulling out the Sidus Link app and making adjustments quickly can be crucial in these situations, and it actually helped me get some great results overall. I really liked how the B-roll turned out. The Amaran tubes looked like they were part of the ambulance. What did you think of this setup and the results? What would be your approach for lighting in this tight space? Keep in mind the lights had to stay in place once we started filming the B-roll. We also filmed some interviews, so that full lighting breakdown will be coming soon. Thank you so much for all the continued support from everybody that likes, comments, and shares these videos. You're greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.